What's up guys, it's Susie Bullock from HeyGrillHey.com. Today we're knocking out some poor man's burn ends. Slow smoked chuck roast, cubed, sauced, tender, and delicious. Let's do it. Our poor man's burn ends are called poor man's because instead of cooking a full packer brisket to get those beautiful, crispy, barky edges of slow smoked meat, we're using a chuck roast. And dollar for dollar, they can actually be a little bit more expensive than brisket, but because you're not buying an entire 15-pound cut, you generally save a little bit of money and you get all of the best bites in the perfect little morsels of smoky goodness. So here's how we get started. I start with a chuck roast. It's about 3 pounds. You want to pick one that is as well marbled as you can find. That intramuscular fat is going to do wonders for the end juiciness of each of your burnt ends. Season that liberally with my signature beef seasoning, or if you don't have that, you can use equal parts salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. Get it all over on both sides. Head out to the smoker. We've got our smoker rolling at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. I prefer oak for this specific recipe because it gives you that classic Texas barbecue flavor. Hickory works great as well. We're gonna let that smoke until it reaches the internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure you use a good internal thermometer to get the right temperature read on that. You'll see that the color has really started to develop on the outside. It's beautiful, it's starting to turn dark red, and you're really seeing that bark start to develop. We're gonna wrap that in butcher paper. I sell this in my store. If you don't have butcher paper, you can wrap it tightly in foil. The butcher paper is awesome because it can actually help retain the moisture in the meat while still allowing the smoke to kind of influence and develop that bark. If you're using foil, the bark tends to soften and won't be as dark and developed, but you'll get a really moist and juicy end result. So both work great. Return your wrapped chuck roast to the smoker, leave it at 275 and let it continue cooking until the internal temperature is about 195 degrees. This is when that tight cartilage, those tough working pieces that keep this shoulder muscle functional, start to break down and turn into tender, melty, juicy collagen. So we're gonna take it off the smoker, let it set for a minute and cube it into about 1-inch cubes. And this is where you'll see the beauty of a chuck roast is you get bark on every single piece. Put those in an aluminum foil pan, top them with about a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of your favorite barbecue sauce. We're using my everything sauce. Again, you can find this in my store, or I have a ton of sauce recipes on my website. You can really get creative here. Make sure they're evenly coated, put them back out on your smoker, and next step is going to take anywhere from like 20 to 45 minutes. You really want the sauce and brown sugar to tighten on the outside, but you want to continue cooking each of those little nuggets until they are just ready to fall apart and melt in your mouth. At this point, you're ready to eat them as is. If you want them extra saucy, I recommend tossing in another 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and an extra drizzle of barbecue sauce. Give it a quick toss back on the smoker for just a couple of minutes to warm that all the way through, and that way you have super saucy burn ends, if that's how you like them. Our burn ends are off the smoker. They look amazing. They smell even more amazing. I hope you guys give this one a try at home. I can't wait to try it right now. If you do, make sure to leave a comment, post a picture, tell us all about it so that we can share it with each other, because at the end of the day, barbecue's all about sharing. See you next time.